Hey guys, and welcome back to Spirit Tracks. All aboard the hype train, choo-choo!
And then the tracks end. Oh no, it turns out E3 was all a lie.
Oh.
It was all just pre-rendered cutscenes. No gameplay. So many cars.
Jesus. At least we didn't have to deal with an overturned train. We'd probably have to do like a sub-quest to get, the power bracelets to turn it upright again.
That is such an Oracle bullshit thing that they would do, but no, because we're a certified train engineer guy, that's what kept us from rolling the train over. See, the certificate, believe it or not, is a key item to the plot.
Hello? What's going on here? Perspective change, perhaps? Seems dark enough to be.
Maybe some plot?
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm multifaceted with this playthrough. You get like the double screen, you get the one screen. That's about it. Let's just watch as this building explodes due to like the dark poo gas emanating from the sky.
Yeah, the tendrils of darkness are back. Even you can take the people out of Hyrule, but you just can't take the bullshit evil trying to destroy Hyrule out of the Hyrule.
No, you cannot.
It just doesn't matter. These people as a whole, Hyrule are a people, and these people are prepared to get screwed over by unfathomable evil on a weekly basis. It's basically their blood right.
I mean, that's impressive and all, and he made train tracks disappear, but Zelda's still fine and dandy, so if this was your grand evil plan, you may need to try a little bit harder, just saying.
Boo-hoo, no one wanted the train tracks in the game in the first place, you just made it better.
Oh my god, is this a riff on the fans? Are the fans the villain of The Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks?
Whoa, calm it down there, this ain't a Kojima game. We're not at that kind of level yet.
Here it comes. It's Ganon Train.
Even as a train, his jawline is magnificent.
I don't know why they made it look like Gandalf. He's not in the game. Like, everyone thought he was on the run-up to release, but no, it's just a different guy altogether, really.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes with the whole identity of this game. This game knows that it's going to be slightly different, so I love how it doesn't, like, cop out at the last second. It doesn't Mega Man you. It doesn't promise, oh, we're going to be different. Oh, psych, it's Wily. But no, like, it holds to the promise that, this is a new land, new evils. Yeah, their roots are old, but the villainy themselves, the villains are new. And ridiculously looking.
Yeah, very much so. Not really a fan of Chancellor Cole. He's just your bare-bones, evil, dictator prick, but I'm a big fan of his toady over here, if you can even call him that. He is pretty independent.
Well, I mean, every good team needs a Doomfist on offense.
Oh yeah, and look at that Doomfist. Oh boy. He's called Burn in the American version, as in burning coal, to stoke the flames and get that train a-rolling. But he's called Staven here. Not really sure why.
This is another really weird one. Why change one character's name in one version of why? I mean, I get that the pun might be a little obscure just because it is Burn spelled with a Y. I mean, what kind of Starbucks name shit is that?
That is an actual surname. I think it's Irish in origin. Alright, he's going to do his magic. He's going to get the crazy eyes, and then Zelda's going to fall over. We'll be all sad, and then I guess we'll just get back on the train, I suppose.
Also, he kind of gives me Happy Mask Salesman vibes. Just the creepy smile. He has the same audio cues there, like that whole, line, and then the fact that it had notes after each sentence. That's very Happy Mask Salesman.
Very much so. Also, I like a proactive, non-protagonist, like a secondary character who's willing to get shit done. Especially when it comes to protecting the main character. That's kind of unique.
Twilight Princess tried to have all those knights, you had the whole resistance, but none of them did a damn thing. Like, some of them had some information, but that was about it. Alphonse, on the other hand, he's a bro. He's the biggest of bros. He is your Kamina for this game. You look up to him because he believes in you.
Oh, that may have been a more apt comparison than you first realized. Oh my god, he's so cool!
Right.
Holy shit, the cinematography, bro.
This is on just like a handheld spin-off game. Well, not even a spin-off, it's mainline, but just think about that. Nothing held them back. They wanted to go all out in this game, and I love it.
Oh. Lines like that can mean only one thing. Jobbing. Self-fulfilling prophecy, I guess.
That's what happens when you let him mob psycho his fucking ult.
Speaking of, I can't wait for Mob Psycho Season 2. Also, One Punch Man Season 2, although it's being done by like a different production company now. Not really sure how to feel about that.
Yeah, wasn't Season 1 done by Madhouse? I still honestly have yet to see One Punch Man. I know the whole gimmick. I feel like I know about One Punch Man enough that I kind of don't even want to watch it. But Mob Psycho interests me enough. Like, Mob Psycho is really cool and I love watching it, but the whole One Punch Man gimmick of that, you know, we want to make you think this fight's gonna matter. It's gonna be a fight. Oh, nope, psych, we tricked you out. Come on, guys, we set the rule up in the first episode.
Well, just like it plays with your expectations there, this game kind of fucks with your expectations that, oh, Zelda, she's a princess, she's gonna be fine. No, she just fucking died.
She dead. She dead, dying dead, son. Spear Tracks, the game where the princess dies.
Right at the start as well, not in the middle, as like a status quo sort of thing that Zeldas all want to do after you get the first 3 shiny objects. No, right at the start.
Well, not even, because you know that pretty much any other Zelda game would start 10 minutes after this cutscene. Like, Link would wake up in his village, try to go to the castle. Oh, the princess has already been kidnapped and is already gone. Like, in most other Zelda games, that whole cutscene would have already happened and would have been a flashback. So that's another thing that's great about Spear Tracks. Like, it doesn't start in media res. It doesn't start in an aftermath. Like, shit actually happens while Link is present.
Real time, I believe the philosophers dubbed it years ago.
Exactly, except that there's no time, so it's not a real-time event, just real time.
Interesting. I love how this guy's name is Teacher, by the way. He's never given an actual name, he's just addressed by his title.
It's like when they name characters Mr.
Hey, Mister. That's Mr. to you, okay.
Teacher, teacher.
Yes, haha, what a story, Mark. It's fine though, princesses don't get zapped by evil magic, not in New Hyrule.
Right, even though she's only like the 3rd princess they've had. So they haven't had too long to establish, you know, probably status quo or emergency response. Everything's just too new. Too new.
It's weird saying that when it's 100 years, but 100 years isn't a lot in, like, the grand scheme of a monarchist line.
In terms of, like, a whole kingdom, like, you literally have people alive that were original settlers. I mean, granted, it's only Nico, but that still shows just how young of an entire nation this is. I mean, it's more of the Hyruleans, though, because we're gonna get... It's a Zelda game. There are other races, and obviously they've been there longer. They've been there for as long as their species have been there, but in terms of, you know, the monarchy and the race that makes up the monarchy, they're new.
Yeah, very much so, very much so. Hello? It's a ghost!
Bet you guys didn't know that this is actually the new Resident Evil game. Get your spooky pants on, because we're about to jump scare the shit out of you. Start the webcams.
Oh, jeez. You know, Capcom really started going downhill when they tried to chase the Nintendo audience, and that's really ironic if you've read their statements regarding the Switch. Like, they were just not prepared for it to do as well as it did.
I just don't see how. Like, what about it would not convince you? It's a portable Nintendo system. Done. Like, those were literally the flashing gold dollar-making words.
Well, you know, when you take into account that the Wii U was also, quote-unquote, the portable Nintendo console, I can see why they'd have reservations, but to have nothing prepared, yeah, don't really speak well of them.
Right? It's like you literally have, you know, all these indie studios playing your gimmick, making money. You think eventually you'd catch on, it's like, shit, they're just doing what we used to do.
Yeah. Oh well, they'll catch up when they're ready, I suppose. Oh, this is really sad. Like, Link is the only one who can see Zelda. I'm not sure if that was ever established why, by the way, but, you know, in terms of a narrative sense, it doesn't really matter. It works.
It doesn't really matter. You could extrapolate a number of different things. You know, a blessing of the gods, a trick of the goddesses, the fact that they are still tied by fate because of the one prequel of a prequel game that says that they're doomed for all eternity to just always fight evil. That's still a really... The fact that it's so pervasive throughout the entire series that, yeah, it's one curse, and it's pretty much doomed these fuckers forever. Oh well, that's the reason they're fighting. An old curse.
I can't get over, like, how that's just established in, like, 1 or 2 lines, and there's, like, no visual aid to go along with it, and he's just like, he dies.
Right? Just... like, you could have actually... you know, supported the impact of Skyward Sword being a sequel. Like, you could have showed scenes from all the other games in the series, like, showing, like, these are the consequences of this curse. But no, it's just a line, because it's Skyward Sword, and we're too busy trying to make a cool system game, not a story game.
We have a lot to say about that. That'll probably be the next Zelda game after Spirit Tracks, because don't forget we go 2D, 3D. 2D, 3D. But yeah, Zelda isn't really used to having a non-corporeal body, so she likes to float everywhere. Although, we gotta get some treasure before we head out. I love that little motif.
Our plot item, dude. Our titular item. Because it's sort of like that whole... Lady of Notre Dame thing. You don't know if the title is referring to the person or the place. The whistle that they refer to, is it the train or the flute? It's both.
We're not gonna get to the part where we actually have to use the spirit pipes for a while, but how did you feel about them overall?
I'm fine with them. It also helps that I know how the DS microphone works, because that's honestly the problem with this, that people say that it's not responsive, it doesn't work, and then I've seen people try to play this game, and then they're blowing so hard into the microphone. Guys, it's not a whistle, it's a microphone. If you blow too hard into it, you just blast it, and it's not going to register. Like, my advice to anyone who has ever played this game and couldn't get the flute to work, whistle into your microphone. That way you kind of like limit how much air you're actually blowing out. You want to lightly puff. You don't want to blow hard. You're just going to blow the mic, and that's why it's not responding. Like, it's kind of weird that it's literally just a tech issue.
Yeah, I think we'll need to find another way to the Tower of Spirits. By the way, one thing I actually did cut out, and you didn't really miss anything. You start, like, riding along the train tracks before that cutscene of the tracks disappearing kicks in, and I don't know why. I guess it's to really lure you into the false sense of suspicion. Like, oh, nothing bad's gonna happen here, and then everything bad happens here.
Right, and they make it a point to do it on like the shortest length of track that's on the overworld map, so you're literally thinking, oh, I'm going from point A to point B, nothing could possibly... Oh, wait, everyone died. Oops. My bad.
Okay, we're actually going to need to grab a sword, but we do have to trigger a bit of dialogue first before we can get to that bit of, well, dialogue, action event, whatever you want to call it.
It's a Zelda game, you know, we still gotta hit our plot points, you know, especially the ones that are especially contrived, or, you know, it's just one of those little ones where they mention, hey, talk to this guy. And then it tends to be a conversation that holds up the entire game until you remembered, oh shit, I was told to talk to this one guy.
I don't think I've ever watched a Spirit Tracks, like, speedrun. Do you happen to know what the world record for it is?
I don't know the current. I did used to watch a few.
You can take this opportunity to look it up if you want.
I am, actually. That's the thing, is that I was trying to remember some of the few people that I know that do speedrun it. I know there's Ben Stevens, but he's mostly a handheld Zelda runner. He does a lot of good Ocarina of Time 3D runs.
Huh.
There's also...
Is that Stevens spelled with a PH or a V?
PH.
Hmm.
And then, of course, there's... I never really learned how to pronounce his name because he has a 3 just randomly jutted into it, but it's Pokemon Rocks. Pokemon Rocks. So, at 4 hours, 42 minutes, on this day, November 18th, 2017. Because I know if someone gets the world record again before this video comes out, you little fuckers are gonna think you're all clever, but you're not.
No, you ain't slick. We're watching you with our eyes. I'm just kind of grinding money here, for lack of a better term, because I want to buy a shield. We're not going to get it before we leave Hyrule Castle Town, but the next town, definitely.
Like I said, this is still a Zelda game. You're still going to grind for the money, you're still going to talk to the people, you're still going to explore the town. Like, it doesn't stray completely off the record. This ain't Breath of the Wild where everything is new and you're just playing a really good Far Cry game, but, you know, things are unique, things are fresh. I like this character, I like his design.
Did you see that thing that Ayanuma and his team put out when they accepted, I think it was the Ultimate Game of the Year award, like the golden joystick? He's like, oh, I'm so thankful for this, but I'm really glad that Odyssey only came out a few months ago.
Right.
I love Ayanuma. Like, he's the next Miyamoto for me, and I'm talking about, like, the year 2000 era Miyamoto, where he was still top of his game.
No, and I agree. Plus, he has something that Miyamoto doesn't, in that he can recognize a bad idea, and like he'll actually back off of his own ideas if like they're pointed out that they're bad. Miyamoto is stubborn. For better or for worse, he is a stubborn man that even if his idea is not the greatest, he'll push on everyone, and he has that reputation where everyone will go along with it because it's a Miyamoto idea. Who the fuck are you to argue with them?
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes they're really bad ideas.
Well, Wii Music 2 when, even though that the Wii brand is kind of discontinued now. How do you feel about the combat in the game, Mo?
I like it. It's responsive enough. I do like how I can literally just like poke enemies. It kind of makes it feel like I'm playing a mobile cell phone game at times, but it's easy and interactive enough that, you know, and the fact that this game has great puzzles, that the combat feeling easy doesn't really make it easy, and I don't know. I have no complaints, really.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I'm fine with it. Sometimes it can get a bit much if there's like a ton of enemies crying around you, but I don't think it ever gets like too intensive unless you're like fighting the secret boss of the game, which is pretty neat.
And I do feel like in the situations where there are lots of enemies, that's what the spin attack is there for too. It is kind of weird that even though it's still the exact same attacks that Link normally has, you know, jab, jump slash, spin, they're used for a lot of they're used differently in the 2D games. Like the spin attack in a 3D game is kind of more, let's be honest, it's more of a grass cutting tool than anything else. But in 2D games, like the spin attack is great for crowd control because you are going to get swarmed by a bunch of little enemies that very quickly chip away all your health. So the spin attacks are good for that in the 2D games. So I think that's probably another reason why some people have difficulty, you know, crossing between 3D Zeldas and 2D Zeldas, is that even though they have the same moves, they're used differently, and some people it takes them a while to adjust to the settings of that Zelda game.
I think the 2D game that does the sword play the best, or at least goes the most in depth of it, is actually one of the easier ones, Minish Cap.
Yeah, just because they go all out with like the sword techniques, like a rolling stab. Like that's Mario tech right there, of adding not only a jump and slash, but a jump, roll, and slash. Okay.
These collectibles, by the way, and this is totally like a star bit right here, which is actually a real brand of candy. I guess that's why they brought it into Galaxy, just to give it that touch more whimsy.
Mario is literally collecting candy, and y'all thought moons were weird, and then y'all went and collected hundreds of them. Okay.
Roughly about 900 or so. I can't promise we'll get that many during the LP, but I might stream the road to 100%. Anyway, like I was saying, those will help us build a better train. Again, not sure if I'll make the golden train or whatever, but I want to at least upgrade, say, the main compartment or the carriage or something.
I never really upgraded too much of my train. It was always just difficult finding, because the thing is that you have to find the right amount of certain items for the upgrades, and so I would always be short like one item to get any sort of upgrade. So I think the most I ever upgraded was the cannon that the train gets, so the train gets offensive, but that's it.